You look at your monthly expenses, see the soaring cost of rent, and wonder why it feels completely impossible to get ahead. You are working harder than ever, your income might even be increasing, but at the end of every single month, your bank account looks exactly the same. But there is a massive, structural trap that has nothing to do with your spending habits or your work ethic. It is called the geographic cost trap, and it is the primary reason why living in a major metropolitan hub is quietly keeping you broke. Today, we are running a forensic audit on the cost of living in the wrong city to show you exactly how changing your location can completely change your net worth. Most people choose where to live based entirely on where their job happens to be located. They assume that moving to a crowded, expensive city is the only way to climb the career ladder and secure a high-paying salary. This is a vanity strategy designed to make you look successful while draining your financial future. Your location is the single largest line item on your monthly budget, yet it is the one most people refuse to optimize. Imagine two professionals with the exact same skill set, the exact same drive, and the exact same job description. High-cost Mason and remote Chloe. Both of them managed to secure a contract worth $100,000 a year. Mason moves directly into the heart of a major, high-cost metropolitan hub because that is where the corporate offices are located. He believes that being physically present in a gleaming skyscraper is the ultimate marker of professional achievement. Mason rents a small apartment close to the city center, which immediately devours 40% of his monthly take-home pay. Because he lives in a high-density zone, the baseline cost of groceries, transportation, dining out, and basic services is inflated by 30 to 50%. Mason is forced to spend $85,000 annually just to cover his basic survival needs and maintain a standard urban lifestyle. After a grueling year of long commutes, crowded trains, and expensive city taxes, he is left with a tiny $10,000 in savings. Meanwhile, Chloe looks at the exact same contract and decides to leverage the power of geographic arbitrage. She chooses to live in a beautiful, low-overhead region located hours away from the chaotic city center, or even in an entirely different low-cost territory. Chloe rents a spacious, modern apartment for less than a third of what Mason pays for a cramped studio. Because the local economy is not inflated by urban congestion, her cost of groceries, utilities, and daily transport is a fraction of the city baseline. Chloe spends a total of $25,000 a year to live comfortably and stress-free. She seamlessly saves $75,000 annually, despite earning the exact same base salary. Chloe is stacking 7.5 times more cash than Mason every single year, without working a single extra hour. Over a 10-year period, if Mason invests his $10,000 at a standard 7% return, he accumulates roughly $138,000. Chloe, however, invests her $75,000 at the exact same 7% rate, accumulating over $1 million. Chloe becomes a millionaire in a decade, while Mason is still struggling to pay his soaring urban rent. The trap is believing that a high-cost environment is mandatory for high-value success. Your financial freedom is not determined by the prestige of your zip code. It is determined by the massive gap between your local expenses and your global income. When you tie your physical existence to an expensive city, you are voluntarily signing up to pay a premium just to breathe the air. You buy into the illusion of urban networking, while the local economy quietly strips away your ability to invest. This is why thousands of professionals earning six figures in major cities are secretly living paycheck to paycheck on a corporate treadmill. You are essentially working to fund the city's infrastructure, your landlord's mortgage, and the inflated margins of urban businesses. The professional who stays in a high-overhead city just for the status is trapped in a high-maintenance cycle with zero financial autonomy. The moment their contract ends or the market shifts, their fragile lifestyle collapses because they have no financial cushion. True wealth is not about showing off a city skyline from an expensive high-rise window. It is about building an unbreakable financial fortress. To break the geographical trap, you must actively decouple where you earn from where you physically choose to live. This requires ignoring the traditional narrative that success only happens in overcrowded concrete jungles. Society expects you to move to the big city to prove you made it, But that proof is an asset-destroying luxury. The people who are building generational wealth today are the ones exploiting the remote economy from quiet, low-cost regions. They prioritize their compounding brokerage accounts over an overpriced urban address. The math behind geographic arbitrage is incredibly simple, but pulling the trigger requires breaking free from peer pressure. You have to be willing to leave the trendy urban hotspots behind while your peers waste their prime earning years on hyperinflated rents. That means keeping your cost of living low, even when your remote income hits record highs. It means investing the massive difference directly into compounding assets, rather than handing it over to an urban landlord. It means realizing that your computer screen works exactly the same way whether you are sitting in an expensive city cafe or a quiet, low-overhead coastal town. If you are currently feeling trapped by an insane local cost of living just to stay near a corporate hub, it is time to pivot. You are not missing out on life by leaving the city. You are actively purchasing your long-term personal freedom. Start tracking your local expenses against global remote opportunities today, and stop measuring success by your proximity to a skyscraper. Shift your focus from surviving in an expensive city to thriving in a high-savings environment. If you keep trading your valuable time just to pay for an inflated geographic premium, you will always be a slave to your next paycheck. Don't be Mason, be Chloe. If you want to master the laws of geographic arbitrage and build absolute financial freedom, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on your notifications so you never miss a brutal, forensic breakdown of how real wealth is built behind closed doors. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you currently trapped in a high-cost city, or are you executing a geographic exit strategy? Tell me your plan, and I will see you in the very next video.